We kind of operate in a sense like we would have our social interface software interface on, right? We're kind of like feeling involuntarily want to engage, keep the conversation on. If not, you're feeling like it's too cold, maybe people feeling awkward. But I find that the more we do mindful meditation, I find there's a different power, which is the quietness. Feeling the unnecessary to engage on conversations or things that it doesn't really require that much of jumping around or entertaining, just it's not necessary. Just sit here, enjoy. It's pretty good. Don't have to do much. I'm not feeling awkward if you don't speak. You don't feeling awkward if I don't speak, So just be here and learning to be here. You can sit. It's something I learned a lot during the meditation practice. And it doesn't mean it's a shutdown. Doesn't mean it's a shutdown. If you're here, you're looking at me, I'm saying you maybe want something, right? The operating software, the social interface is still on. It just doesn't have to be operate phonetically or frantically or in a very contrived way. It doesn't have to be like that. Senses like the intention literally talk through the material, right? So that's why the taste is different. And when we go through the certificate or that kind of exams, yes, some tea just don't taste good. It's because literally yourself, who you are, what you are, and the tea reacted differently. We're quite sensitive. Like how people actually, the baristas actually doing coffee is also very sensitive. They react to the intentions. So plus tea has so many different cultures. Such a long traditional culture. It somehow elevates you a little bit rather than coffee. Coffee triggers and coffee kind of like would just pick you up immediately, right? And you will end up like a migraine or tension or whatever, or like a trembling hands stuff. This one is slower, but if it's put a bit stronger, also has that effect. It has the tea alkaline, which is a caffeine-ish thing. But involved with this kind of a ritual, it's also a kind of a meditation practice as well. So I'm trying to learn. Let's see.
What is this tea?
This is a type of oolong. It's called yan cha. It's like this. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you can put a bit of a dry orange peel. They're very nicely made dry orange peel to mix with it. I'll just put a little bit of this guihua. I can't remember. It has a really long Latin name. Describe it. It's from a tree. Actually, in South China, it's really famous for their fragrance. On this mindfulness kind of it actually goes into mindful walking, mindful eating, mindful drinking tea, and mindful coffee as well, right? So it applies to everything. The thing doesn't change is the practice of mindfulness, which is if I'm doing this, do I know this is hot or not? I know it's hot. On my ring finger, it feels hot. I understand it. All right. I'm here pouring. The color is like this. Everything is going on at the same time. As it is, as it should be, run its own courses, right? We're here to observe.
Why do you smell it?
Because it smells good. Because actually, I came across this fellow practitioner was getting trained to do mindful coffee, like a hand pouring coffee, right? And when we actually smelling, passing around the smell of freshly grinded beans, then I asked question. I said, why this smell feels so rich, satisfy my hunger so much, than the coffee itself? And then the girl says, like, exactly. I never found a person who can live on smells. It's like to understand the smells, if we can eat off smells, right? The smell itself is type of food. It's like once it actually enters your mouth and become something chewable, it's become more or less quite a disappointment already. It's a substitute for the hunger of the smell itself. So the fragrance itself is another type of intake as part of the self. I think there is also a saying talking about eating the pink clouds, eating the colorful pink clouds, and drinking the dew, which is described the kind of a person who's living in a mountain in a retreat, almost like they have dropped or a lot of habits of this worldly eating habits, which is that they could live on that certain type of energy or food, let's say the dew from the leaves from the nature in the mountains, or the sunset, the colorful clouds that you could eat from. I never thought that would be possible until one day I was driving on this way and to see the rich orange, delicious kind of glowing light coming out from the clouds through the sunset. I was thinking, I'm really hungry. I really want to eat that. Someone gave me a straw. I want to sip that. And then I suddenly remembered that was a kind of training on how to eating. You call them qi, you call them prana, you call them, I think, call them qi. And then you literally have to, during fasting, you have to like sip it. Sip it, but not breathing it. It's sipping it and then swallowing it. Sipping and swallowing. So there's that kind of way of eating as well to sustain the life, which is I prefer more of that way.
What is the connection between the tea and Buddhism?
The tea and Buddhism, let's say, especially the styles of it. Japanese call it wabi-sabi, which is you use some broken pots, some imperfect utensils to create with whatever you have on your side, to give a spirit of really a renunciate kind of idea of life, that anything goes and it itself has a very unique aesthetics. Actually, this drinking tea is come from one of the really famous Zen master. It's called a Jizhou master, I believe that's his name. So basically, different master has different teachings. Certain master will probably slap you on your head with a big club, to try to wake you up in a sense of your practice. Another one is a Jizhou master, literally to say like, if you ask him any kind of practice questions, deep question, he will say, let's go drink tea. Let's go drink tea. Over tea, you will understand. So that's quite famous. It's called a Chi Cha Qu. It's very famous. So during the Zen tea, I would think the rituals and the timing and the silence kind of stretch the experience of the tea itself, of different dimensions, the smell, the color, the movement, the ambience. And this is literally a mindfulness training. Literally is that kind of training. So yeah. And plus this tradition has so many poetry write about it. It involved so much into the practitioner or the, you call them Chinese scholars, right? Literature scholars and painters and artists involved in their life as part of the aesthetics as well. So it come from a long way. It has deeply embedded connotations of it.